In our final sit down with Robbie, we talk about his international career, setting records, and what the future holds for him. We also look back on his favorite goal. Thanks for joining us. Talking about those championships, I mean, it obviously means a lot to you. What do you hold most dear from the 5 years in LA?
Certainly the championship, of course. Maybe the 2014 was probably stood out most because it was a tough game against New England. Went in extra time, and then I scored the winner in extra time. So I said my mum was there, my brother was there, so my wife was there, my kid was there, Robbie Jr. was there. So that was probably stands out certainly for the 5 years since I've been here.
Looking at your international career, you hold pretty much every record for an Irish international, which of course as a kid must have been an absolute dream. What does that mean to you to retire from international football, having represented your country so well?
Well, firstly, it means a lot to me to play for my country. Very, very passionate about Ireland, of course, and to play for your country is one thing. To captain your country is something special. And as you mentioned, there is that to hold the record goals, the record caps, record of being the longest serving captain. So it's something that's something that I'm very proud of course. As I said, growing up in Ireland was every kid's dream and ambition to play for the national team, and I've done it on many occasions, and I look back on it as certainly the best moments in my career. Putting that green jersey on it's very hard to explain to people. The passion that it gives you. To retire was obviously difficult for any player to retire from international. Knowing that you're never going to put that number 10 jersey on again it's something that I don't take lightly. But something that I can look back and go, you know what? For a young lad growing up in Dublin and what I achieved for the national team, I can look back and say, you know, Rob, you've done okay.
Now, you've accomplished so much in your career. You could easily walk away right now and be hailed as an all-time great. So as you look at the next chapter now, like what drives you?
The love of the game. So I'm not stupid either, you know. I know when it'll be time to call it a day. I still think I've got definitely a good couple of years left in me in playing. Definitely got a lot more goals left in me. So, but to answer the question, it's just the love of the game, the passion. I wake up every morning excited to go train. I wake up every Saturday excited to play a game. I think as soon as that leaves me, well then I'll stop. But I'm not even close yet at the moment.
Okay, now looking beyond your playing time, which of course a few years from now, you've got your A license and your leadership abilities are well respected in the game. If you do go into coaching, is there a coach that you'll take more from than perhaps others as far as your own style goes?
Yeah, listen, you learn. The good thing, certainly for me, that I've played with a lot of coaches, so you learn certain stuff that you would do and certain stuff that you wouldn't do. I think that's something that you have to really figure out yourself. Have I learned a lot from coaches? Yeah, of course. There's no question. You still learn from the ones that you didn't think maybe was doing the right things, but because you're learning from maybe that you wouldn't do that. So you'll always learn, and there's no question about that. And certainly, I'll take that in hopefully, if I become a coach. That's something that, as you mentioned there, I got my B and A license. So it's certainly something that I'm looking to. I think it's probably, hopefully, be a natural progression for me. But it's about opportunities, isn't it? So if I get the right opportunity in a few years' time, it's certainly something that I'd be very, very interested in doing.
Now, as a last question, you scored close to 400 goals in your club international
career. Oh yeah, is it?
Yeah. Not bad, huh?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
I knew it was around that, but
yeah.
I wasn't sure with it. So it's over 400.
That's close to 400. You're just shy of it.
Many?
Yeah, no, not many. You'll break it. You get probably about another 20, 30. You'll break it. You'll break 400.
I'll break it.
I know you will. Now, do you have a favorite, or is there one that stands out in your mind?
I think the one probably stands out in my mind is definitely in the World Cup for Ireland against Germany. When you're on the streets growing up and you're playing World Cup teams, then 5 years later, you're actually 7 years later, you're playing actually in a World Cup against one of the biggest teams in the world, and you score a goal in the last minute against one of the best goalkeepers in the world in Oliver Kahn. Certainly that one stands out, definitely more than anyone.